Okay, now we're back, and we're going to be talking to Mom about growing up in North Carolina and moving to Maryland and whatever she remembers.
I don't know anything about. You got that on?
Yeah.
I want to see what she remembers about living in North Carolina. Her first memories.
That's what he's.
That's what I'm going to ask.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, but let me get the camera a little
He
closer.
has to get the. Yeah, I think you ought to cut that off.
What?
I don't know why Jack's talking.
Well, it
now.
doesn't matter. We can edit. Everything is editable. So we can take it out or put it in. We can make you look really good or really bad. I'll ask you a question and I'll change the answer. Okay, so Mom, when were you born?
Wait a minute. Wait.
Wait.
Till who? Vicky comes.
Oh, Kim.
Kim. That's it.
Hi, sweetheart.
Kim knows when Mom was
Hi.
born. Hey.
I was born March the 5th, 1936,
And where were you born?
in Piney Creek, North Carolina, at the home of my grandmother and grandfather, Sturgill's.
Well, Piney Creek, Mom. I thought you said it was something else.
No, I was born in Piney. Rena said I was born in Piney Creek.
Oh, okay. So what did you say before? You thought it was Topi or something?
Topia, that's where we live.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
she went down to her mother's to have me.
And you were, so you were born. You weren't born in a hospital either.
No.
And was it dangerous being born in a house?
I suppose it was.
I thought you were born in a house, in a hospital.
I don't think so.
And what's the earliest thing you remember growing up? Kim, I need your help here.
There's so many
Are we
little.
on Mom now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember.
Your first memories, like when you were born in the hospital, you remember that?
Well, you missed that.
Since your brother remembers that.
Wait a minute.
Make sure you
She
do.
wasn't born in the
She
hospital.
wasn't born in the hospital.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I missed that. You're right.
You didn't hear her.
Okay.
I'm correcting her. That's all. Don't hit me.
That's not Diane's by any chance, is it, that black case? She said it was small. She's missing her diaper bag, and she said it had her wallet in it. So
There's just a few things I remember, but I don't know when. I remember Willie and me getting out and running in the rain with a coat over our heads and splashing and playing. And when, I don't know how old I was then. I remember the house that we lived in, and it only had one bedroom, and I think we had two. It was a big living room. We had two beds in the living room, and my uncle built what seems to me now was a big crib. I don't know, for the little ones to sleep in.
Did you all sleep together?
No, I don't remember hardly how we slept in that house, except Mother and Daddy slept in the living room, and there was a stove there, and they kept the stove going, and
Yeah.
What kind of a stove?
a wood stove.
Did you ever get burned on the stove?
No, I don't remember
Maybe
getting
once.
burned on the stove.
did your arm ever go through the Ringer washing machine?
How many brothers and sisters did you have?
I had 3 sisters
And their names?
2 brothers. Rena was the oldest, and then
Is the oldest.
Rena is the oldest, and Willie is next. Willie, my brother.
Oh, Rena's older than Willie?
Yeah, Rena's older than
I thought
Willie.
Willie was older.
And then me,
Okay, so you're the third oldest.
and then Shirley, and Joe, and Joe's a girl, and Gary.
Gary.
And how many of you are called by your middle names? You're not.
Rena,
Rena is Laura Rena, right?
Willie,
Wait, Rena's name is Laura Rena? Huh.
Willie is James William.
James.
and I'm Melba Louise. I was called by my first name, and Shirley was her first name.
And what was her middle name?
Shirley Ann.
Okay, and then Joe.
Joe's name was Ethel Joe. She was named after Mother's 2 sisters. But she hated the name Ethel so bad that when she got old enough, she went to court and had it changed to just plain Joe.
Oh, really?
Did she give herself a middle name when she went to
I
Joe?
don't think so. I don't remember.
And then what was Gary's name?
Gary Thomas.
Huh.
Daddy's name was Thurmond Hershey.
Hershey? Is that, are you related to any of the Hershey from
No, that was
Pennsylvania?
just his middle name.
What was Mama's middle name?
She gave herself a middle name of Irene.
Right.
She gave it herself. She,
Yeah,
remember
she didn't
that.
have a middle name.
so she picked it.
Yeah.
And who were their parents? We should ask Dad this stuff. too,
Laura.
back with
We
grandparents.
go back.
Laura and William Sturgill. Laura Parsons and William Sturgill.
Were Memos. What,
That was Mama's.
Parents.
And who was Papa's parents?
James and Ruth Fitzgerald. They were both Fitzgeralds.
And Peppa was married before.
Yes.
Before he married Memo. Do you know this?
No, I didn't know.
Oh,
He was
not only
married
that.
to Laura Blevins.
What happened there?
She died. Giving birth, she had twins, and she died giving birth to the twins.
So he had twin
And the twins died
girls.
too.
They were girls, right?
No, the boy and a girl.
Boys?
And the
Doris.
twins died at the same time.
Yeah,
Huh.
I think so.
So they were fraternal twins.
All right.
Doris and Dean.
Huh. I didn't know that.
And did they have red hair? I think I had been told.
I
Maybe.
think they probably
Because Papa had red hair, right?
Yeah,
And what color hair was Memo's?
black, raven black.
It was all
Really?
gray. It was-
Really?
All I remember is gray.
Yeah, me too. As long as I can remember, gray. A darker gray at one time, but
Now, Memo had another. She had a miscarriage, or she?
She did have a miscarriage after Gary was born.
and Gary is her youngest now, so you would
Yeah.
have had a younger. Do you know if it was a boy or a girl?
I don't know. I always thought it was a boy, but Rena said the other day that it was not far enough along to tell. But
Oh, okay.
she had started hemorrhaging, and she walked up from the house to Aunt Ruth's,
Wow, wow.
Is that a long way?
and she lost.
See, if you're bleeding, it's a
mile,
long way.
And she lost the baby somewhere on the way.
Huh. And when? So, you all? When did you move to the house there in Piney Creek on the river?
Let's see. I was 8 years old.
So that would have been 36.
38, 30, 44.
Four.
But we didn't live there all the time. At one point, we moved away and moved into a haunted house.
Oh, that's when you lived at the haunted house.
I didn't know about the haunted house. And what was? So was all the kids born at that time when you moved into?
Yes.
Who's? How? Why didn't you live there all the time? I don't understand.
Daddy and my granddaddy had some sort of falling out, and Daddy moved. Daddy wouldn't stay there.
Oh, so that was your granddaddy's house.
Yes, yes. We moved in when my grandmother died. We moved in with him.
Okay. But all the kids were born at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Cause that house had, how many bedrooms did that house have?
4.
1, 2. You had the blue room. 2. No, it had 4 rooms upstairs.
Well, 5 then.
5, I guess. And my dad leaned forward, lean the other way. You can't keep moving the camera out. Really get that. Now, what did Papa do for a living?
He was a farmer.
What did he farm?
Tobacco and corn and pigs.
Pigs. And what did Mama do? Did she do anything?
She did it all. Everything there was to do, she helped do.
But did she work outside of the house?
Not outside the home.
Right.
I
'Cause
mean,
I remember. Well, you had enough kids there. Did you have to help out on the farm?
seems to me that I didn't help out as much as the rest of them. I always thought I was Daddy's favorite.
Oh, really? Did your brothers and sisters think that too?
Well, Joe said she did.
She thought you were the favorite?
No, she thought she was.
Oh, okay.
I'm not watching any babies.
They didn't know that you were the favorite.
I don't think so.
Oh, I guess everybody thought they were the favorite. That's good.
I mean, my kids.
Did you? So, do you remember like before you moved into the house there on the river?
Well,
Kim,
you know, just
Kim.
odds and
She's on the
ends
phone.
here and there.
Oh, okay. Well, it's being recorded.
Yeah.
You know, just spots. We had a big sand bank there close to the house, and we would we'd run little cars in the sand bank, and if there was an animal, a rabbit or something that Daddy would injure when he was mowing, or else he'd bring it in, and we would try to nurse it, and it would die, and we'd have little funerals for it on that bank.
Did you have any other pets? Did you have any dogs or?
Willie had a dog that had seizures. And we had a cat that was born without a tail. His name was Bobby.
Bobby. And did you go to kindergarten, or did they have kindergarten back then?
No, they didn't have kindergarten. But I remember we had to walk, I don't know how far it was, a mile, half a mile or a mile, to the school bus. And sometime, I remember one particular time, the storm, we had such a horrible snowstorm that we had to stay at that I at least, had to stay with the people at up where we caught the bus. And in a day or two, Daddy waded up there through that snow and carried me home on his shoulders.
How old were you then?
Well, I must have been in the first grade.
Yeah. But you didn't have to walk to school. You just had to walk to catch the bus.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
How about you, Dad? Did you have to take a bus, or did you walk to school?
No, I took a bus.
Okay. So you didn't have to walk uphill about 2 miles in the snow, uphill both ways,
No.
coming back and.
I had to walk uphill.
Well, wait a minute. My senior year, lived in Harry Bay, so I walked to school.
Okay.
Don't let the cat in.
Let the dog out.
And so, where did you go to? You went to Piney Creek Elementary School, or
Yeah, Piney Creek School. That's all
Piney
it
Creek
was.
School? Was it like a one room schoolhouse, or?
No, we had each classroom had their own school. Each class had their own room.
Uh-huh.
We had a nice big auditorium.
Was it kind of like the Waltons?
I don't remember what the Walton School was like.
I mean, was life like the Waltons?
Yeah. I very much identify with
Oh
the
yeah.
Waltons.
Did you? Did you have a stove, or how did Memo cook?
We had a wood stove.
And she cooked everything.
Had to carry it. We had to chop wood, carry it in, build fires in the morning, cook on the wood stove. We
Yeah.
had a wood stove in the living room too.
Did you cook there too, or that was just for heat?
That was for heat.
You didn't have indoor plumbing though, right?
Never.
Till
Not
when?
while I lived home.
Huh?
Not while I lived at
So
home.
when you left North Carolina, you never had indoor plumbing.
No.
Wow.
Somebody have to show you how to use it.
Smack him.
I got that look on camera, Mom.
So what was dinner time like at your house? You had a lot of people, a lot of kids, and you really didn't have any of the conveniences that we're accustomed to now. So, what was a typical dinner, and what was involved, and who helped?
Are you talking about dinner or lunch?
I'm talking about supper,
Supper, we had almost every night. We'd have cornbread and milk.
cornbread and milk,
That was all you had?
That's all we wanted.
and onions. I'm
I
sure.
still
Where are you
want.
going? Where's he going?
If it was summertime, springtime, we had new spring onions or lettuce or.
Everything you got was from the garden.
Okay. And then, so when did you have meat or anything
Not for supper.
for lunch?
Sometimes. I mean,
That was dinner.
Mom canned pork and she canned beef and chickens.
Yeah.
Where'd you get the pork and beef and chickens? Were they yours?
Yes.
Oh, tell them about killing the cows and pigs and stuff.
I don't remember killing the cows, but
I
I
thought
do
that you
remember
said you hid.
that was pigs.
That was pigs.
Yeah. You would hide.
I would get in bed and cover up my head and scream so I wouldn't hear pigs. And poor Mom, I just, I think of everything I think of how hard she worked and how hard Daddy worked too. But I was knowing more of what Mother did than what Dad did.
Yeah.
Molly.
Did like Willie help out on the farm and stuff, or
According to that song.
what song? Steve's song?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if
Yes, he
Steve
did.
has accurate facts.
They had to hoe corn and
Sure.
worm tobacco
Yeah.
and
worm tobacco?
I had to get the worms off the tobacco.
What do? Just pick them off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I never did that.
Tobacco had worms. Huh?
Did
And then when it was time to do the,
yes.
Grandma, you have milk. I won't get
She
it.
has milk.
No, there's mail outside.
Mail.
Mail. Yes, you can go get the mail, but be careful.
you know which box, when it was time to grade the tobacco, do you know what that is?
I guess you're looking at the different quality.
Yes.
It's funny. I've always heard about grading tobacco. I never thought what it meant.
That was in the real cold weather. We'd bring it in and do it at the dining room table.
Oh, really?
Really?
Oh yeah.
How would you determine what determined what grade it was?
I don't know, I just guessed.
Did Matt the
And
color
then
or
it would be
the?
tied up and taken to the tobacco market.
Huh.
And is this after it dried or?
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
guys dry it?
I'm
Did you
sure
have to
after
hang
we
it?
tied it, it had to be hung up in the barn for a while.
Was that how Papa made a living?
Yeah, that's
Tobacco
where,
farmer?
a lot of it.
Did Papa smoke?
He smoked a pipe once every year or so.
Yeah.
Did any of the rest of the family smoke? Mama or you guys or
Mama
Willie?
didn't, but
Mail.
Willie did. I did.
You did at home when you lived at home?
Well, you can do the mail after we do the interview.
Was there any stigma attached to smoking back then?
No, we had no idea it was bad.
The waffles over there. Put just some waffles.
If you wash your hands.
There's So did you guys buy cigarettes or did you roll your own since you had a tobacco
No,
farm?
we didn't roll our own. I don't know. They were only a nickel a pack or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Right, back in the tobacco company or country. So what other things? I remember when I was a kid that there was corn was grown over there where the campground is now, and what else? Beans maybe,
Yeah, we kids
tomatoes maybe.
You wash your hands?
don't think so.
No,
We
okay.
kids would get out and pick beans for money.
Uh-huh. We were offered money to pick beans too,
I
but
remember doing that.
oh my gosh, it was always so hot that I just never picked enough to make any money.
I don't remember. I remember
I quit
picking
before
beans.
everybody else did.
I don't remember how hot it was or anything.
I just remember it being so hot.
Did you feel, were you poor or middle class, or
I think we were poor.
do you remember being hungry, or?
Oh no, I was never hungry. I don't ever remember being hungry, but I remember sometimes for breakfast we wouldn't have. We would make a cereal out of cornmeal
Yeah.
because we didn't have anything else to eat. But we never went hungry.
But you wore clothes.
I had holes in my shoes
Yeah.
sometimes.
Did you have to walk 5 miles through snow up to your neck to get to
Had to
school?
walk a
Both ways,
mile.
uphill both ways.
Right.
No, she had to walk a mile to the bus.
So you rode a bus.
And they used
Where
to
did the bus come?
Well, it came to the church for a while, and then after that, it came up to the Aunt Ruth's, the mailbox.
Why did it not come any further? Were you guys the only ones that lived?
Yeah, well, that road was just about as
Uh,
wide as a porch.
yeah, it was a scary road.
Did
Used-
what did your grandfather do for a living?
He was a pastor of the church, and he was also a school teacher. And
Which grandfather was that?
Byram.
Mama's dad,
Byram.
William
Is that
Byram.
William Byram.
Sturgill.
Mm-hmm.
He was a school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Did he teach you guys?
No,
That
just when when he was younger. I think when he lived in Montana, he might have been a school teacher.
I don't know.
she went over to my house to look for
And
her
where's-
diaper bag.
Where's
She-
Papa? What did Papa's dad do?
I have no idea. I only met him once.
Oh, really? Oh, because of the fight.
No, Papa's
What fight?
dad. It was Mama's dad and Daddy that
Oh,
had the
okay.
disagreement.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
His
That's why they
father
moved
lived
out of
in
the house
out
and into the haunted
in
house.
Virginia
Oh, I
someplace,
missed
and
about the haunted house.
we didn't say anything much about it.
But we're going to though. 'Cause now that
I don't know
remember
anything to say about it. Really.
it wasn't. I wasn't haunted. Well, go continue your story there first. And
but you said you never only met your dad's dad once.
He was very, very ill. and Uncle
With what,
Norman.
do you know? How, what
I
he was
don't
ill
know.
with?
I don't know. Uncle Norman took us to Virginia, out where he lived someplace, and I remember he had black hair,
Huh.
and he was in bed, and I'm going to the bathroom, folks.